Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. So we're talking about unpopular makeup opinions. I had a brain fart there. These are opinions that I have of product, whether they are, they go against the norm. And I wanted to talk about them because I feel like a lot of these products I don't like. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's get into my unpopular makeup opinions. And first off, we are going to be starting off with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation. So a lot of people were complaining about the unevenness that it provides on your skin. They were talking about the coverage, how it's not really a medium coverage like what people were thinking it was going to be. And that's the reason why it got a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, some other people were like, oh yeah, it's really, really good. Like, I really like it. And so I lean more on the side of those people who really like it. And so when I first tried this product, I knew not to expect it to be a full coverage foundation or a medium coverage foundation. It ranges more of a light to medium. But what is so nice about this is the light coverage leaves your skin feeling like fresh and dewy. And that's why it's called the Clean and Fresh line, because it leaves your skin feeling fresh and dewy. I love the way my skin looks after I put the skin milk on. And one thing that's really nice about it is that you can layer with other product. So you can use the skin milk and you can put on a really nice hydrating concealer like on top of it, blend it out, and it makes your face look flawless. And you can add it to another foundation and you can actually give your foundation that type of dew that this provides. So like mixing it with other foundations or even on its own, it just works really, really well. And a lot of people complained that it wasn't a medium coverage foundation, that it's barely a light coverage foundation. So going into trying this when I first did, I was expecting it to be more like a BB cream, but it's better than a BB cream because it gives you more of that fresh, clean look, hence why it's called the Fresh and Clean line. I'm actually really, really curious to see what I can do with this in the winter, if I'm going to go for that like super dewy skin look in the wintertime, and if this is going to add that moisture that I need during the winter and into my makeup routine, because I'm just one of those people that doesn't really like the matte look so much. I like more of that natural finish, the dewy finish, the skin-like finish. So the next item for my unpopular makeup opinions, we have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. A lot of people were saying that it blends out really well, it looks like skin, and it lasts a really, really long time. Like, it gives your skin that like airbrushed effect. And I actually watched Tati, I watched Rach Love's review this product, and it was hands down their #1 foundation last year. I actually picked this foundation up, I want to say at the beginning of summer 2020, so not too terribly long ago. And the reason why I picked it up is because it has 25 SPF in it, and that was like what I needed. Usually I try to go more cruelty-free. This is not cruelty-free, but I wanted something with an SPF in it, so I picked this up because it got a lot of great reviews. So I have used this on and off all summer, and at first I really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it left my skin looking really, really pretty, and it just left it looking skin-like, airbrushed, and it made my skin look amazing. And as I've used it more and more, and I've, paid attention to how it looks throughout the day, I've noticed some problems with this specific foundation. I'm actually wearing it today, and I actually did a lot of prep work on my face before I put this on, which I'm the type of person who doesn't like doing a lot of prep work. Like, I'll put primer on and, I'll moisturize. I'll put my serums on like earlier in the day, and then when I do my makeup, I put my primer on. Good, great, we're good to go. Well, I have been noticing with this specific foundation, I need to do like 20 prep steps to get this to even look reasonably good. And if I don't do the steps right, if I don't use the proper product and it doesn't mix well with that product, I end up getting dry patches all over my face and it clings everywhere. I've had a lot of problems with this foundation. As of late, I have noticed that if I don't use the proper primer for this foundation, it clots, it dries funny, it definitely collects on random places on my face, and it leaves patches. The other day I wore it and you could not tell that I was wearing foundation because it wore off so bad. Like I had a lot of patchiness on my forehead and then the rest of my face was just gone. Like it looked like I did not have any kind of foundation on my face at all. It was so bad. And I was not very happy with it at all because I had been wearing it for like 4 hours and it was for work and I came home and I looked like crap. Like it looked so bad. I have used this with the hydrating primers. I have used it with the pore filling primers. I have used it with some mattifying primers that are kind of like in between. And I have found that the only primer that it works really, really well with is like a super pore filling non-silicone primer. And a good example of that would be the matte poreless putty primer from e.l.f. That is the only one I have found that has really like been a game changer for this foundation. This foundation, like if I use that primer, it works really, really well. If I don't use that primer, I get dry patches all over my face and it doesn't look good. If I were to rate this, I would give it like a 3 because it is not as good as a 5. Like it's okay, but it's not like the best foundation that everybody was hyping it up to be. It's not that good. So on to the next unpopular makeup opinion, and we are discussing an eyeshadow palette. I have an eyeshadow palette and it is the Morphe 35F Fall Into Frost palette. This is the original palette, so this one's quite old. I actually have a newer one because this one I thought I'd lost and then I found it. And a lot of people like the range of shades. I think it's really, really great for fall. And, you know, it has some mauve, it has like, you know, some greens, it has some berry tones, it has some like orangey tones. Everybody says that this one is a really, really good addition to your eyeshadow collection if you're really into like those like darker tones, you're really into those like fall tones. When I first bought this, I thought this was a very good palette. And now, not so much. I have tried so many other palettes and so many other formulas that are so much better than this palette. And to be honest with you, like the formula is okay, but there's a lot of other palettes out there where you could spend the $30, $24, I can't remember how much this is. You could spend the 20 something dollars and you could get something much better from the drugstore. Like you could get an e.l.f., a couple of e.l.f. bite-sized shadows. You could get, you know, a Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette that would replace and go beyond this one. I found that like too many of the shades kind of like repeat themselves. Like all of the purpley shades that are in here, some of the berry tones that are in here, they repeat themselves. They look the same on the eye. Like it's annoying using this palette because if you see like a darker shade like this, oh yeah, that's awesome, but it looks like this shade over here, or you have this shade which looks like this shade which looks like this shade. It's just too repetitive, too many colors. They don't work well and they don't blend out very well. This is what you get. So, I mean, you could spend your money somewhere else and get a way, way better palette. Next is a Milani Cheek Kiss blush. This one is in the color 120 Pink Flirt. I watched many reviews on this and many people said this was like patchy. It didn't work. It did not blend out well. And it was not a good blush formula in general. And to be honest with you, I think this is a great blush formula. I actually picked up this blush because I had heard about the Flower Beauty Blush Balm liquid blush from Rach Loves, and she said it was like one of the best that she had tried. But I can't find Flower Beauty where I live. I picked up the next best thing, which is this Milani Cheek Kiss blush. And I love the way that it goes on because it's dewy and it's super pigmented. Like, I can't even tell y'all. So here's that little dot and it just goes on so dewy and it's such a pretty color. It's a natural pretty color. It finishes down to a skin-like finish. And when you put it on your cheeks, it just gives you this like dewy glow to your face whereas a lot of people have said they didn't like how it kind of like it did nothing for them, or it was patchy, that type of thing. I love this blush. I think it looks amazing on my skin. It's like that perfect touch of blush that I need to get through the day, especially if I'm doing something super natural. All right, so we have I want to talk about this guy real quick. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Highlight, and this is in the color Pearl. So it's the white highlight. So you guys can take a look here and see. On the Ulta Beauty website, this has a 4.5 out of 5 star rating. And I think I can concur with this one because, I mean, it is really pretty, but I can't concur with this one at the same time, and there is a reason for that. I think the pan size is great. I think that the price is a little bit much. This actually really reminds me of, there's a zinc sunscreen that smells like this, feels like this, and looks like this, that you can buy if you tend to get really, really, really red on your face. My sister actually used to have to use it when she was a kid. That's what this reminds me of, the smell and the texture. Ironic, I know. So this formula, yeah, it's really, really good. It is a very nice formula. I actually didn't expect this to be like a cream highlight formula when I tried it, and I did like it. However, my opinion of this has changed quite a bit, and the reason behind that is because over time of using this product, I have found that as a highlight, it just strips away my makeup when I put it on, and I don't like it. Especially when I've been doing my makeup and then I put this on and it just strips away the foundation. It strips away everything. Even if you put on, like, you know, a powder blush, it strips it away. And that was the most annoying thing that I found with this product. Now, I do like using it for something else. I love to use it as an eyeshadow, like a cream eyeshadow, when it's just one of those days and I just, you know, do a little bit on my eyes and I go, because it is super, super natural. I actually used this for my sister-in-law when she got married, not this exact one, but I did use a butter highlight for my sister when she got married, and I literally just put this all over the lid, and then I gave her a crease shade and she was good to go because she wanted something super natural for her wedding. She didn't want something over the top. So I do like this formula as an eyeshadow, but as a highlighter, I do not. So this is probably another one of those unpopular makeup opinions that you guys might get mad about, but I have to say it because I really don't like this formula. Okay, so this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is actually a sample size, but I've actually had the full size mascara before, and I don't like it. Everybody loves it. I don't like it. I think it is way too overhyped. I think it does a horrible job at being a mascara that apparently everybody loves, and I just don't like it. So when I use the Better Than Sex mascara, I've always found with this mascara that it gets too clumpy. It gets way, like just too much on my eyelashes, to the point like it doesn't fan my lashes. It's not Better Than Sex. Let's just say that right now. Every single time that I use a Better Than Sex mascara, it clumps my lashes. It just doesn't work. It flakes in my eyes. It's one of the worst mascara formulas I have ever used. I love the way that the brush is. The brush is pretty good, and I'm actually, we'll open this because it's a sample size one. So I love the way that the brush is, where it's at like fat, skinny, fat. I do, you know, enjoy that, but I have always felt that this formula just doesn't perform the way that it should. And I think it's the formula mixed with the brush, because I've used other mascaras with the same brush that perform better than this one. I think the formula is just too thick for what they wanted it to do. It clumps your lashes, it leaves them looking spidery, it flakes in my eyes. Everybody rates this a 5 out of 5, and I rated like a nasty 1. But on the other side of the spectrum, we have the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara, which has a very similar wand to it. And if you can see here, like on the picture, I'm not going to open it because it's brand new. I already have another mascara that's open, but this one has a very similar brush to the Better Than Sex formula. However, the actual like mascara formula, it isn't too thick so that I get like those like nasty spider eyes, but it's not too thin where it does nothing. It's like the perfect combination of both. And this is probably one of the only mascaras that I have noticed that really like does what it's supposed to. It is supposed to give you longer, thicker lashes. It is so true. It feathers my lashes. I actually tried this one, and I had a friend who loved the Better Than Sex mascara, and I told her, I was like, this one is better than the Better Than Sex mascara, and it's, you know, $10 cheaper than the, actually it's more than that. It's like, I think this is an $8 mascara, and the Better Than Sex is a $24, $26 mascara. So, I mean, you guys do the math. This one's way cheaper. It performs better. It doesn't flake in my eyes. It does come in a waterproof version, and a lot of people like the waterproof version for like their lower lashes. I like this for both. I like using it on my eyes. I repurchase this like all the time. It is so good. Another very unpopular makeup opinion. I feel like I'm hating on makeup today because there haven't been very many like, oh, this one's really, really good, but people don't like it. It's been more like, oh, people like this and I don't like it. So I guess this is another one of those unpopular makeup opinions where everybody likes it except me. It is the BH Liquid Naturally Flawless Foundation. So this one I looked up because I heard it was really, really good for wedding makeup. And I was like, okay, let's try it. I think it's a $10. This is a $9.50 foundation. And I had a lot of problems with this foundation. It wasn't really along the lines of like, it doesn't work well. It was more along the lines of like, it doesn't apply well. Let's kind of iterate on that one a little bit. So, I mean, it does have a very nice, like full, medium to full coverage when you use it. The only problem I really found with this one is that it has a really, really fast dry down time. Really hard to blend out. If you put it on your face and you try blending it out and it stays there and it's hard to blend out. So you have to learn how to work with it. And I heard a lot of people say this was a great wedding foundation. I've read tons of blogs on this, and I don't think this is a great foundation for wedding because it is that hard to work with. Like when you are doing makeup for wedding, you want something that is going to be really easy to work with and has a really nice finish to it. You don't want something that you're constantly having to fix and, you know, work with constantly and try to blend really, really hard. Like if you put too much on your face of this one and you don't blend it out as soon as possible, it dries and it makes you look patchy and uneven. So this just isn't that good of a foundation for wedding foundation. It's an okay foundation if you know what you're doing, you know how to work with it. But it's definitely not worth all the hype that people were giving it as, you know, one of the best wedding foundations. It's not that good. I feel like I'm on to another one where everybody loves it and I hate it. And it might just be the color, maybe. So we have the Colourpop No Filter Stix. This is the foundation, and whenever I wear this, it always looks yellow. Even though the color is Fair 30C, which is cool. But when I put this on, it looks yellow. Like to me, like when I put this on my face, this looks yellow. It does not look like a cool tone. And I don't know why it's not showing up to you. Like it looks yellow to me. And on my face, it looks yellow. And I do not like using this as an actual stick foundation. Sometimes I will use it as a brightening concealer because it is kind of more on that like super, super fair than it is more on the light tone. So it does work well as like a really thick concealer for me. But as a foundation, this one on my face, it just looks too yellow. It doesn't match right. It is a little bit hard to blend out. It's like a super, super thick formula. And I have found even with a brush, it's really, really hard to blend out. With a beauty blender, it's really, really hard to blend out. As a concealer, it does a really good job of concealing what it needs to. But when it goes on the rest of my face, it gets patchy and uneven. It clings to places where I don't have patches and it looks patchy. So I don't like this as a foundation. As a concealer, it works better, especially just for like the under eyes where I can get like a good coat on my under eyes. Other than that, it isn't my unpopular opinion. I don't like this. All right, this is the last unpopular makeup opinion that I have. It is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, volume number 3. This is a palette I received in one of my very first BoxyCharms, and this is the color story here. And I don't like this palette. I don't use it a lot because of the color story and because of the shadows. So the shadows are good. The formula isn't bad. I should say that. Like, the formula isn't bad. It's just the way that they arranged the color story. So this product comes with one matte eyeshadow, and it is a skin one, and it's this one right here. The rest of these are a shimmer foil formula, and it makes it really hard to work with. Now, I am the person who loves a good foil. Don't get me wrong, I love foiled eyeshadow, but I have gotten to the point where I need, like, if I'm putting something in my crease and I want to do a crease defining look, I don't want it to be shimmery. I don't put shimmer in my crease. If I'm doing something on the outer corner, like what I have today where it's a little bit darker, I put a matte eyeshadow out there. Usually it's not a shimmer or a foil formula, and this one only has one matte skin tone for, like, matte eyeshadow. It just doesn't work for me. I think somebody who is really getting into makeup and, like, this is like their first eyeshadow palette, this would work well for them. But somebody who, like me, who loves to dabble in different eyeshadows, who likes to dabble in different eyeshadow formulas, from foil to duochrome to multichrome to a shimmer and a satin and a matte, maybe an all matte eye with just a little bit of shimmer in the corner, this does not provide that. Okay guys, so there you have it, my unpopular makeup opinions, you know, things that I go against the norm with, like things that I like that other people don't like, and vice versa. And I feel very opinionated today. Like, this is the first time I've actually done one of these where it's like, no, I don't agree with you. Like, this, no, this is not good. Especially with some of the ones that everybody's like, this is so good. And I'm like, no, it's really not that good. So guys, I hope you like this video. Give it a good thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel so you guys can see me again, see my lovely face again, you know. If you want to see me again, if you want to see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button, hit your notification bell so you guys can see when I come on my channel again, and I will see you guys later. Bye!